Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone.
What are you doing, America?
Bro, at least you make me laugh. But look, whatians are doing exactly whatian we're supposed to be doing because let our president do his goddamn job, okay?
It's men versus activists. Hello and welcome to another video. You already know what we're watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button though. Let's get into it.
What are you doing, America?
Bro, at least you make me laugh. But look, whatians are doing exactly whatian we're supposed to be doing because let our president do his goddamn job, okay?
Wait until Trump completely destroys us?
I don't know. I just don't know.
That man needs to shut up.
What the?
He needs to shut up. Someone seriously needs to shut that man up. God's gonna. Can't wait for that for me.
I don't know how I got on this side of the FYP, but thank you.
Someone get me some holy water for my screen.
Do you think that someone who's pregnant should be able to have a selective abortion because their unborn child is diagnosed with having a disability?
I mean, I believe in women's right to choose and all that, so I'm going to say yes.
If you had to guess, what percentage of people with disabilities like Down syndrome are aborted after the mother receives that diagnosis?
30%?
It's usually between 60 and 92%.
Okay, wow. But like I said, I'm a firm believer in a woman's right to choose and a woman's ability to get an abortion, so I guess I have to say that it is what it is.
Yeah, because there's also like selective abortion, like if the parents find out they're having a girl but they wanted a boy.
You know, that I'm going to say no.
But what do you think is the difference between limiting selective and disability selective?
I guess I never thought about it. You're right. You're right. I guess generally speaking, I don't think people should have abortions if they just because the baby has a disability.
Did someone say double standards?
You cannot change your biological. It's physically impossible.
I'm saying to you,
It is impossible
it's
to
a legal reality
it is
that you can.
Can you change your biological?
We can talk about biology,
Okay.
and we can talk about the legality of it.
We're talking about biology, though. This thing is about sport. This is about males and females.
Well, the problem when we talk about biology is neither of us are scientists, but
You don't need to be a scientist to know male and woman.
you and I both know that it's a lot more complicated
What's
than that.
the complication?
It's not as simple as, for me, it's very simple.
Can I become?
and for you, it may be very simple, but I think we're indulging an ignorance by not suggesting that there is more to it than that.
Can you become male?
I don't want to be
But
a
can
male.
you become male? Is there anything that could be done that could turn you into a male in the way that I'm male and Piers is male? Is that possible?
See, now, do you see how you've qualified your question? So you first asked me, can I become a male? And I would suggest probably yes in terms of medically. But then you said, like you and Piers, and that's where we start to get complicated.
Paula, I hoped we would have taken you a little further down your journey. I fear when you say you think you can become male, you can't because male is a sex.
I can have gender recognition,
All right.
can't I? I can legally become a male.
Oh wow, she is insufferable.
What do you believe in? Jesus Christ. I believe in heaven. I believe in the Bible. I believe in America, amongst many other things. Okay. So, does your buddy want to come up? Thank you.
Stay there.
Thank you.
Stand tall. Give him a hat, Charlie. Stand tall. Stand tall. Stop wasting everyone's time and fuck off.
Thank you.
I can never get over this one either. What is bro thinking?
I didn't think that I was just going to be killed. I thought other things were going to happen to me as well.
So what sounds like what you're telling me right now is that you didn't only think that you were going to die, you thought you were going to be raped.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that one time when AOC gave a whole entire interview talking about how deeply afraid she was on that fateful day, January 6th. And she explained how her life was in danger. She felt as if she was gonna go through something worse than death itself. Well, see, that's quite strange because, you know, in order for you to feel threatened at a specific event, you would actually have to be at that event, right? I mean, in order for her life to be in danger, January 6th at the Capitol, she would have had to have been at the Capitol, right? Even woke-ass fake news ChatGPT knows that homegirl was not in the damn Capitol building on January 6th. Look at that. Look at that. Do you have no shame?
AOC needs to be arrested, honestly.
I feel that there's so much attention being put on to this specific subject because what you guys really want underlying is the eradication of trans people and them to not be involved in any system.
No, you see there, look, look, Stasia,
that is the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life.
Right, it's ludicrous. Where have you got that
what
from?
a bad
Where is
representation
anything
of a
I have
trans
ever
person
said?
to speak out for others.
I'm more so referring to, I have seen certain things that you've said in other interviews, Pierce, with like my friend Wassam and other trans individuals. And I just feel that the emphasis that is being put
And what was
on...
transphobic?
One more time?
What was transphobic? What have I ever said that could be remotely construed as transphobic or trans-hating or wanting to get rid of trans people? Ever. I challenge you right now. Tell me.
I haven't really directed that at you just from sitting here. I'm just here to say that I feel that the issue that's being pressed is because it's a...
You just directed it at him. What are you talking? You directed it at him.
I think that the issue that is being put on trans athletes is a way to eradicate trans people.
This is, with respect, this
Pierce,
is
can I interject for a moment?
In the 1960s and 70s, when feminists that came before me set up women's shelters, rape crisis centres, hospital wards, prison wings for women, recognising that some men, not all, but a sizable minority, are a threat to women because violence and harassment is a threat. We weren't told by men, not all of them were pleased, but largely they understood. We weren't told by men, you're trying to erase and eradicate men. But the vast majority of men understood why we needed to do this. All we're doing is saying men, and you can call them trans women if you like, but men have no place in women's prisons, domestic violence shelters, and sports.
Well, wait a second, hang on.
Okay, Emily, you wanted to... yeah, Andrew, I'm going to come to you. Andrew, I'll come to you one moment. Just let Emily jump in on what you're about to say, I think, to Stasia.
I just think it's so infuriating because ultimately, I know many trans people and I've spoken to them about, playing in women's sports, etc. And the biggest issue they face is that they just want to be accepted. Now, if I was a trans woman and I just wanted to be accepted, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what you're doing. You want to paint all of these labels on you. You want to play identity politics. You want to play the victim, but you want it to be treated as if you're any superior. That's not equality. You receiving special treatment that does not make you equal but makes you superior to others is not looking to be included. It's actually making people detest your cause. It's making people think that you are a moron. And the way that you're trying to represent the trans community as a whole by just denying that there's a threat and being delusional about it is not helping the trans people. You're making people look at you from the outside and say, wow, they are out of touch with reality.
I think that your verbiage in this statement...
Stasia, your response.
I think that the verbiage that you use in this statement is very clear on where you stand on trans issues. I'm going to go back to my original point. You guys trying to take out trans people from sports is a way to eradicate trans people from public.
But we're not. We're
nobody has said anything.
Like
nobody, Stasia, nobody has said that. And this is what happens, if you don't mind me saying. What happens, the way that trans activists let themselves down, in my opinion, and you can respond to this, is that you try and shut down perfectly legitimate, in fact, urgently important debate by saying that anyone who dares to question this is transphobic and wants to get rid of trans people. I don't think anyone so far on this panel has said they want to get rid of trans people or anything like it. And yet you keep saying you people all want to get rid of trans people. Why do you believe that? Where have you got that from? You cite my interviews with some of your friends, but where have I said anything remotely that could be construed as transphobic? I don't get it.
I think the verbiage that was being used, it's very clear you guys stand on all trans issues.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So what is the solution for the trans people that are playing sports? What's the solution for them? We're just supposed to kick them out all entirely?
Let me give you the solution. Let me give you the solution. The solution's very straightforward. Almost all of them competed against biological men like themselves before, but they did it far less successfully. So you either go back, trans women athletes either compete against their biological, or you create an entirely new category for trans athletes. What you don't do is allow them to destroy the integrity of women's sport, which is what is happening. So it's very straightforward how you solve this. I don't want trans people to be banned from playing sport. I just want them to be banned like I did with the dopers when they were cheating in sport. I want them to be banned from utilizing an unfair advantage. It's simple as that.
Did you guys get that? When you have no argument, just throw the word verbiage into the mix.
You want me to dance to that or something, or? You waited in line to do that?
That's just dumb.
Should we deport gang members that are in the country illegally?
That's a tough question. What's stopping them from coming back?
Hopefully a strong border control. That's hopefully what stops them from coming back.
Just to guarantee that, especially during now when we're cutting funding for all of our government programs. Shout out Elon.
Well, there's actually more people, more control down at the southern border. That's why we're experiencing a 94% reduction in illegal crossings.
Yeah, sure. I don't give a if you're here illegally or not. You're a person just like me.
You're struggling with the answer of deporting gang members. So I don't know if we're gonna find any common ground here. What's your name? And I do like your jacket, by the way.
I'm not gonna give you my name.
Don't worry about it, my guy. Have a good one, okay?
And he is in college.
The Roman Empire didn't survive because it didn't have enough strength in its diversity. It suppressed its diversity and it died. If the U.S. wants to be the Roman Empire, keep voting the way you're voting, y'all.
Yes, the Roman Empire, guys, died because diversity. There wasn't enough diversity in the Roman Empire, right? There wasn't enough diversity in the Roman. Can you show the map? Look at, this is what, at the peak of the Roman Empire, look at all those. You got Italy, you got some Libya, you got Egypt, you got Spain. You're rolling into the Middle East over there. There just wasn't enough to all of those people and all of those colors covering hundreds of thousands of miles. There was just no diversity. That's what collapsed the Roman Empire. It was really rather just extraordinary. I should do more research on that.
Joy graduated from Harvard, correct?
African-American woman still facing institutionalized systematic racism.
I don't believe that
yes, I am.
to be true right now.
I am.
What do you want to achieve in this country that you believe you can't?
I want to be a criminal defense attorney.
Okay.
However, as we can acknowledge, there's only 5% of black lawyers in the United States at this current moment.
The number one factor that determines whether you succeed in this country is not your skin color. It is whether or not you actually put in the effort to do what you want. I think that there is far greater discrimination in this country by employers against employees on the basis of their political beliefs than there is on the basis of their race.
So we don't think that maybe only 5% put in the work to become a lawyer.
Is that we are a threat to their masculinity. They don't like us because we've rejected the masculine side and going towards our female side. Now, you can imagine, if I walked into a bathroom looking like this, a men's toilets looking like this, I am just asking for trouble. It only takes one obnoxious idiot to dislike what I'm doing or what
if a woman did that, though?
A woman wouldn't do it. End of. So why should I? So I've just used the female toilets down at Waterloo Station. None of the women batted an eyelid when I walked in there. I've got no problem with going in the ladies' toilets. They've got no problem with me going in there. So I am not going to stop going in there. Unless one woman in that toilet turns around to me and says, could you use another toilet? In which case I'll come out and I'll wait till she's done and I'll go back in there and say, anyone else object to me using the
I'm curious though, what do you think you look like? We see you, but do you see you?
My point is, you're a pussy. I want you to look at our country today. That men have ran, and look at how it is.
We're the strongest superpower in the world. What?
No, we're not.
Yeah, we
No,
are.
we're not.
Yeah, we are.
You know, countries are warning their people to stay away from us.
What?
Because of how shitty we are.
Do you realize people try to come here illegally every single day to become Americans and or get to live here with diminished benefits, even if they're because they're not documented? Like you do realize, like I used to
undocumented immigrants.
I used to work in immigration back in the day. I know this intimately. People literally try to sneak here under intense conditions and die a lot of the times while trying to come here. This is the best country in the world. Again, more privilege that you don't understand.
I'm an immigrant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that proves my point even more.
I didn't come here willingly.
You're here. Like.
I did not come here willingly.
Oh, okay. How'd you come here then?
I came here because they paid me to.
Yeah, send her back, bro. Yeah, man. Send her back, man.
You're talking about send her back, yet you a person of color?
I guess we're no longer getting the best and the brightest. Okay, so what's your last point? Because there's a bunch of people behind you. But
my point is,
yeah,
you're a.
Okay, great one.
Okay, go back to where you came from then. No one is forcing you to stay.
I'm a proud he, she, they, them, whatever. I am a boyfriend to a beautiful woman. I am a girlfriend to a handsome trans man. And I am also a girlfriend to an incredibly beautiful woman. Growing up in this town, my mother always told me to love myself for who I am, not what I am not. Not all of us can be as lucky and have a supporter like that. In fact, I knew friends in school who would bring an entire change of clothes with them so they could dress the way that they felt inside and be free of persecution that they would feel at home or the sideways glances. One of the first things we learn in a healthy family is trust, and unfortunately some parents don't trust their children when they say, "This is me," and they make that decision for them. That may make the child fearful.
Okay, what is that? Bro could be dominating football or rugby, but chose to play dress up with a bad wig.
I know you're scared. I know you don't know what to do. But I've got you and I won't leave you. And I love you and I'm so sorry that you're scared. But it's okay to feel. It's safe to feel. It's safe to cry.
All right, we get it. I don't know what to do. Clearly, you dyed your hair blue and you have hairy legs. You've no clue what to do. I'll tell you what to do. Shave your legs, get your hair back to its natural color, buy a skirt, you know, an office casual thing. Start getting clerical work. I think you could be a secretary. Yeah, stock a shelf somewhere, work in a grocery store. Go outside as much as you can. I think sunlight really will reset 80% of these trans people.
Actually, that is the cure. Sunlight, shaved limbs, and natural hair colors.
So my thing is, y'all hate it when women lied about going to the gym, but instead got BBLs. Now you have women who actually say, yeah, I got a BBL.
If y'all don't mind, I'd like to take a brief moment to acknowledge how absolutely and completely empty this young woman's eyes are. I mean, there is absolutely nothing behind those corneas. I'm sorry, maybe this is going to be insightful. Please continue.
Now you have women who actually say, yeah, I got a BBL, and you still hate them.
It's almost as if people can dislike liars and things that are unnatural at the same time. How does that equal hating yourself? Because you don't like a BBL? You hate yourself? I mean, God forbid that somebody dislikes the idea of mutilating your body in an effort to appear as something that you are not, or appear to have something that you do not have. I mean, if you like cosmetic surgery, then I mean, that's your prerogative, but do you believe people are obligated to like those decisions? Yeah, I don't really get this one. It sounds like a bunch of coke. I mean, here she says, confident people don't care what others do with their bodies. I think that's what the youngsters call gaslighting. He's insecure and he's not confident because he likes his women natural. Somebody help me understand.
People will say anything to avoid the slightest bit of accountability.
Good morning.
I quit my job.
Girl, what happened?
Because I can't take care of my basic needs and work 40 hours a week at the same time.
Let's see, we have 168 hours in the week. You were working 40. Let's say Every day you sleep 8 of them. That's 56. Still leaves you about 72 hours to get your basic needs in.
It's really hard to say this out loud and put it online, but I know that I'm not the only person going through this. I've almost been fired from every job that I've ever had.
Well, it seems to be a common denominator with that.
And it's not because I'm not smart. I actually tend to overperform in the beginning. It's just that after some time, I inevitably burn out once I wake up one day and realize that I haven't taken a shower in like 3 weeks.
You lying to me? People get online and tell the world everything.
It's not just a matter of not trying hard enough or not being disciplined. If I could take care of my basic needs and work full time, I would have done that by now and then some.
What kind of jobs did you have? Was you going to space or something?
It's a form of self-sabotage. To honestly be putting so much energy into these executive functioning skills at work and not have anything left to give myself.
Miss, you should absolutely take care of yourself, but there is this little thing we like to call entitlement as well. Take action.
What do you mean you don't take a shower for 3 whole weeks? How?
You work for the government now?
Yes, I do.
What did you do last week?
Went to work, filed papers, and that's about it.
What did you accomplish, though, specifically? What was important that you did?
Nothing. I didn't do nothing. I worked. Went to work and did my work.
What did you accomplish for the American taxpayer, though?
Got my work done.
He just said nothing.
I worked.
What did you do at work?
You're not
Actually, I'm the taxpayer, right? I'm the taxpayer, so he does work for me.
That doesn't mean I have the right to question what he does at work.
Yeah.
People in the government work for us. No. That's how this country works. Yes.
Why do I have a South African that I have to report to? Why do I have to report to a South African? Right?
But you just told me you did nothing last week. What did you do at work? And what did you accomplish?
I accomplished work.
These people are just ridiculous.
Because it's not your choice of what I do with my body.
So
when
I don't want to tell you what to do with your body. I'm just talking about the body inside your body.
Oh, so your hand really is inside my womb. Okay. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, that's what you just said, different words, but that's
Do you have anything, like those slogans are like really cool in an echo chamber or like in a Reddit room, but in an actual conversation, I'm not saying anything about putting anything into your womb. I'm saying if there's a human being in your womb,
It's not a human being.
a human being in the embryological stage or the fetal stage of development is a human being. And if we're going to believe that human beings should be protected and loved and given equal treatment and not be just hypocrites about this whole human rights thing, we have to extend those rights to humans in the womb.
I promise you, she didn't listen to a single word he said.
People don't want to bring their children into a world that they think is going to end. We're already in the red for climate change, right? So why would you want to subject a new generation of children
Who are you saving the climate for? Who are we trying to save the climate for?
Are you trying to save the climate?
Absolutely trying to save the climate.
Really?
Yes, but I understand your point. Because if you're worried about climate change,
But we're speeding it up to the point where we can't control it.
But the point of trying to stop climate change is to preserve our world for who?
Our children who want to have kids.
But if you don't have any kids, dude, how do we have a world? We don't have a civilization. I mean, Elon Musk, who's not a pro-life guy, who's one of the smartest people we all know, is one of the smartest people out there today, says this is the greatest threat to our common humanity is the fact that we are below replacement value. Replacement value is 2.1 children per every woman. America, we've been holding steady. Since COVID, we're down to 1.9, 1.8. We're at European levels of replacement value. The African American replacement value is like 1.5. Demographers are saying African Americans as they exist today will not exist in decades. It's an absolute crisis that we're not replacing ourselves. If we care about saving our climate and our world, we do it because we care about our kids. So you gotta have kids to live in the world.
They never hear themselves speak.
You can't sit on your shows and say, this guy's a fascist, he's an authoritarian, he's a dictator, he's a threat to democracy, and then give us nothing.
That's just a misrepresentation of our position. You say that we give you nothing. We're giving you specific things that he did.
You made this claim that Trump has done bad things to the media. He wants to pull their license. He wants to take something away from
threatened to do those things.
Where has he done them?
So do you think that it's acceptable unless he follows through on it?
Yeah, I think that hyperbole is fine. I think that presidents use hyperbole all the time. I think that liberals use hyperbole. So, for instance, when you say Trump's a fascist, I think that's hyperbole.
Would you?
Because I don't think you actually think he's a fascist. I think that you just think fascism means authoritarianism. You don't even know what the is. You don't care about it. Hang on. So you just I think you're actually using hyperbole when you're talking about fascism in general. So when Trump uses hyperbole, Trump bad. When you're speaking this way,
I don't think it's hyperbole. It's just frantic lies. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to use the like, comment, and subscribe button. See you in the next one.